Please watch all the video. It builds to an explosive conclusion. Your local police constabulary. Do you really know what they stand for? Are they sovereigns serving the people, or are they a corporation run for profit? Would they try to hide the truth? Can every constable be held accountable for their own actions or inactions? Let us find out. Have you heard of a FOIR? It stands for Freedom of Information Request, and anyone can use the process. FOIR can be sent by anyone and fall under the Freedom of Information Act 2000. You can do it online, via email or post. Here is information of an online FOIR sent to the Police Federation of England and Wales. Received 23 February 2021. FOI 00247, Office of Constable Sworn Oath.
Please can you tell me if every police officer across England and Wales holds the office of constable? That is, has every police officer sworn the following oath? I do solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will well and truly service the Queen in the office of constable, with fairness, integrity, diligence and impartiality, upholding fundamental human rights and according equal respect to all people, and that I will, to the best of my power, cause the peace to be kept and preserved and prevent all offences against people and property. And that while I continue to hold the said office I will to the best of my skill and knowledge discharge all the duties thereof faithfully according to law. If there is a variation of this oath, for say officers who do not hold the office of constable, and may be employees of a company carrying out police officer duties, what is that oath? Do police forces, in any instant, use hired help such as security firms or employees of limited liability companies, and allow them to dress in police uniforms and enforce the law? What safeguards and protocols are in place to protect the public, if so? What does it mean, to be policed by consent? I quote from the above reference document, "The office of constable is fundamental to our system of politically independent policing by consent." In addition, can police officers holding the office of constable, and/or any other police officer, employee, potentially impersonating a police constable, enforce legislation, acts and statutes?
The Police Federation of England and Wales can confirm that every police officer, whatever rank, holds the office of constable. The office of constable is not a rank, it relates to the independence of the police officer. They are not employees, but servants of the Crown. All police officers swear allegiance to the Crown through the oath that they take at their attestation ceremony. Police Federation of England and Wales are unaware of any other variation of the oath. Some police forces do have employees, police staff, or external agencies assisting with some elements of policing. For example, in custody suites as gaolers. Some also have limited police powers, for example, to detain someone in certain settings. Any decision on uniform or safeguards and protocols in relation to those individuals are made by the force. Policing by consent means that the police in this country police with the consent of the public. It relates to the Peelian principles, established when Sir Robert Peel set up the police service in London in 1829, the core one being, the people are the police and the police are the people. Unlike in other countries where policing is more paramilitary and to oversee political will. Police officers in this country are accountable for their own actions or inactions.
The Police Federation of England and Wales have confirmed all police, whatever rank, holds the office of constable. Constables are not employees, but servants of the Crown. All police officers swear allegiance to the Crown through the oath. Police in this country police with the consent of the public. The people are the police, and the police are the people. Police in this country are accountable for their own actions or inactions. A concerned living woman received information that pointed to Lancashire Constabulary being a parent company with branches. So she decided, using the Freedom of Information Act 2000, to ask Lancashire Constabulary herself. Here is the FOIR she sent to Lancashire Constabulary, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB. Freedom of Information Request, reference number FOI2 023 and 02183. First FOIR via email, sent to Lancashire Constabulary.
FOI Team. This is a formal request made under the Freedom of Information Act 2000. I require Lancashire Constabulary of Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB, to supply me with the following. 1. Please provide all the registered company numbers for Lancashire Constabulary. 2. Please provide the full complete addresses that corresponds to the registered companies with the name Lancashire Constabulary. 3. Please provide the names of all the directors of the registered companies with the name Lancashire Constabulary. 4. Please provide all the registered company numbers for Lancashire Police. 5. Please provide the full complete addresses that corresponds to the registered companies with the name Lancashire Police. 6. Please provide the names of all the directors of the registered companies with the name Lancashire Police. 7. Please provide all the registered company numbers for Lancashire Constabulary. 8. Please provide the full complete addresses that corresponds to the registered companies with the name Lancashire Constabulary. 9. Please provide the names of all the directors of the registered companies with the name Lancashire Constabulary. 10. Please provide all the registered company numbers for Blackburn Police Division HQ. 11. Please provide the full complete addresses that corresponds to the registered companies with the name Blackburn Police Division HQ. 12. Please provide the names of all the directors of the registered companies with the name Blackburn Police Division HQ. If you are unable to provide the above, then please guide me to where that information can be obtainable from public records. Regards.
Lancashire Constabulary's response.
Thank you for your request for information received by Lancashire Constabulary on 1st of July, which was as follows. Section 1 of the Freedom of Information Act 2000, FOIA, places two duties on public authorities. Unless exemptions apply, the first duty at S1, 1a, is to confirm whether the information specified in a request is held. The second duty at S1, 1b, is to disclose information that has been confirmed as being held. Where exemptions are relied upon, Section 17 of the FOIA requires that we provide the applicant with a notice which a. states that fact, b. specifies the exemptions in question, and c. state, if that would not otherwise be apparent, why the exemption applies. Your request has now been considered and your response can be found below. The Freedom of Information Act gives individuals the right to request information already recorded and held on our systems. Please be advised that we have made inquiries with the relevant departments and Lancashire Constabulary holds no information relevant to this request. Lancashire Constabulary is a public body and therefore there is no requirement to be registered as a company. If you are unhappy with the service you have received in relation to your request and wish to make a complaint or request an internal review of our decision, you should write to the Data Protection Officer, Data Protection Office, Police Headquarters, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR 45 SB, or alternatively send an email to. Details of the Constabulary's Freedom of Information complaint procedures can be found at the bottom of this letter. If you are not content with the outcome of your complaint, you may apply directly to the Information Commissioner for a decision. Generally, the Information Commissioner's office cannot make a decision unless you have exhausted the complaints procedure provided by Lancashire Constabulary. The Information Commissioner can be contacted via the following link. Yours sincerely. Information Access Team, Data Protection Office.
Lancashire Constabulary denied they were a business. The information the living woman had contradicted this. So she made the decision to share that information with Lancashire Constabulary in her next FOIR. Second FOIR, she sent via email to Lancashire Constabulary.
FOI Team. Thank you for your reply sent via email dated 24 July 2023. in response to your reply sent 24 July 2023 in which you state, Lancashire Constabulary is a public body and therefore there is no requirement to be registered as a company. Please see attached files to show evidence of a parent company registered on Dun and Bradstreet, company registration number 424873388, with the name of Lancashire Constabulary, with registered address Saunders Lane, Preston, PR4, 5SB. That address is the same address you have on the reply you sent for my FOI, your reference number FOI 2023 and 02183, when instructing who to contact should I want to complain or have an internal review of the decisions made by you. There is also more registered companies on Dun and Bradstreet. 9 under the name Lancashire Constabulary. A further 4, which include Lancashire Constabulary in the name, with different addresses. Nine of them stated as a branch. Then a further 4 companies registered on Dun and Bradstreet with police in their business name. So the Freedom of Information reply you sent on 24 July 2023 which states, Lancashire Constabulary is a public body and therefore there is no requirement to be registered as a company, concerns me in finding many companies registered on Dun and Bradstreet with the name Lancashire Constabulary, one of which is the same address of Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB. Could this be because you may have been mistaken? See the attached evidence of registered companies on Dun and Bradstreet existing, with the name Lancashire Constabulary, of which the parent company shown registered shares the same address as the alleged public body Lancashire Constabulary, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB. I now require that Lancashire Constabulary, Police Headquarters, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB, under the Freedom of Information Act 2000, please supply me with the following. 1. All reasons why there is a parent company registered in the name of Lancashire Constabulary, registered at the address Saunders Lane, Preston, PR4, 5SB, on Dun and Bradstreet with the company registration number 424873388, that address being the same as the alleged public body Lancashire Constabulary, Police Headquarters, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB. I have provided the evidence of that parent company registered on Dun and Bradstreet in the attached file sent. 2. The full names of all directors and/or CEOs for the parent company Lancashire Constabulary, registered on Dun and Bradstreet, registered number 424873388, and its relationship to Lancashire Constabulary, Police Headquarters, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB. 3. All reasons why there are 9 branch companies registered in the name of Lancashire Constabulary, registered at the following addresses. 4. All reasons why there is also a further 2 companies registered with the name of Lancashire Constabulary, in their business name on Dun and Bradstreet, registered at the following addresses. 5. All reasons why there is also a further company registered with the name of Lancashire Constabulary on Dun and Bradstreet registered at the following addresses. 6. All reasons why there is also a further 4 companies registered with the name of Lancashire, Blackburn, Burnley Police registered on Dun and Bradstreet at the following addresses. I have attached a file to show all evidence of registered companies on Dun and Bradstreet that I have mentioned above, showing their addresses and showing the registered Dun and Bradstreet company numbers that accompany them, so you now have that information. Alternatively, you can go on Dun and Bradstreet to access the information as it is readily available to the public via requests to them. Thank you. Kind regards.
Lancashire Constabulary's response.
Thank you for your request for information received by Lancashire Constabulary on 1st August, which was as follows. Your request has now been considered, and as per our response on the original FOI reference number FOI 2023 and 02183, please be advised that we have made inquiries with the relevant departments and Lancashire Constabulary holds no information relevant to this request. Dun and Bradstreet are a credit reference agency who are web scrapping publicly available address information. They are then assigning them Dun's numbers. Lancashire Constabulary is in no way associated with them and does not use their services.
Web scrapping. The living woman had never heard of that, so sent a third FOIR via email to Lancashire Constabulary.
FOI team. Thank you for your reply sent via email dated 22 August 2023. In response to your reply via email sent to me on 22 August 2023, at 14:20, in which you claim, and I quote, Dun and Bradstreet are a credit reference agency who are web scrapping publicly available address information. I now require that Lancashire Constabulary, Police Headquarters, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB, under the Freedom of Information Act 2000, please supply me with the following. 1. Please, in detail, give the definition of what you meant by the term, web scrapping, in regards to the email response you sent me on 22 August 2023, FOI 2023 and 02183. Kind regards.
Lancashire Constabulary's response.
Dear, I refer to your below email. Apologies, on the initial response to your FOI request, there was a typo. The letter should have said, web scraping. This means that the company have scraped these addresses from another place online and assigned the Dun's numbers to them. Some of these addresses are very old for Lancashire Constabulary, such as the Rochdale address. This hasn't been part of Lancashire Constabulary for many years. These records haven't been created by Lancashire Constabulary. I hope this is helpful in clarifying. Kind regards, FOI, team.
The living woman felt there was a lack of clarity with Lancashire Constabulary's response, so she sent a fourth FOIR via email to Lancashire Constabulary.
Dear FOI team, thank you for your reply sent via email dated 24 August 2023, and for clarifying that spelling mistake made. In response to your reply via email sent to me on 24 August 2023, at 8:34, in which you claim, and I quote, this means that the company have scraped these addresses from another place online and assigned the Dun's numbers to them. I now require that Lancashire Constabulary, Police Headquarters, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB, under the Freedom of Information Act 2000, please supply me with the following. 1. Please let me know which company you refer to when you use the word company, for clarity. 2. Please, in detail, let me know what your definition of scrape these addresses means for clarity of that. 3. Please, in detail, let me know where from another place online is that you refer to, given you claim that is what the company do, so where is the other place online? Thank you for your time. Kind regards.
Lancashire Constabulary's response.
Dear, I refer to your email below. Since your FOI request to us, I have been in touch with Dun and Bradstreet, and they confirmed the below information which might be helpful. Dun and Bradstreet provide commercial data, analytics, and insights for businesses. We have various data sources, including registries, such as Companies House and the Registry Trust, online research, and data partners for publicly available information, and we also create records under internal investigations whereby companies may provide us with information directly. If you want further information on what data we collect and why, then please visit our privacy policy at. Kind regards, FOI team.
The living woman now wanted the evidence to show Lancashire Constabulary had 1. Asked the right question to Dun and Bradstreet. 2. Dun and Bradstreet's response was the same as what Lancashire Constabulary were claiming. So a fifth FOIR via email was sent to Lancashire Constabulary.
Dear FOI team, thank you for your reply sent via email dated 24 August 2023 at 14:41. In response to your reply via email sent to me on 24 August 2023 at 14:41, in which you claim, and I quote, "Since your FOI request to us, I have been in touch with Dun and Bradstreet and they confirmed the below information which might be helpful. Dun and Bradstreet provide commercial data, analytics, and insights for businesses. We have various data sources, including registries, such as Companies House and the Registry Trust, online research, and data partners for publicly available information, and we also create records under internal investigations whereby companies may provide us with information directly. If you want further information on what data we collect and why, then please visit our privacy policy at. I now require that Lancashire Constabulary, Police Headquarters, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, PR4, 5SB, under the Freedom of Information Act 2000, please supply me with the following. 1. Can you please provide me with the evidence, including showing the date and time you did so, of getting in touch with Dun and Bradstreet regarding my inquiries, to provide that evidence of you sending a correct request to Dun and Bradstreet of what was asked, and their reply to you from them, for clarity. 2. Please provide me with the name of the living man or living woman who you claim requested that information to Dun and Bradstreet. Once again, thank you for your time. Kind regards.
Lancashire Constabulary's response.
Thank you for your request for information received by Lancashire Constabulary on 24 August, which was as follows. Your request has now been considered and the information you are seeking is held. Unfortunately, it is not possible to provide a full response to this request as some of the information is felt to be exempt from disclosure under the Freedom of Information Act 2000, by virtue of the following listed exemption. Third-party personal information is exempt from disclosure under Section 40(2) of the FOI Act if it would contravene the principles set out at Article 5(1)(a) of the General Data Protection Regulation, that personal data should be processed fairly, lawfully and in a transparent manner, and / or Section 35(1) of the Data Protection Act 2018, that processing for any of the law enforcement purposes must be lawful and fair. Section 40 is an absolute class-based exemption. Subsequently, there is no requirement to apply the public interest test or evidence the harm in disclosure. However, we have considered if disclosure would be lawful and fair, taking into account the type of data requested, i.e., special category / criminal offense / children's data, what the lawful basis for a disclosure to the world could be, i.e., consent or legitimate interests, as well as the privacy rights and the reasonable expectations of the individuals concerned. Some third-party personal information such as names, email addresses and telephone numbers have been redacted, but the sender of this email has given permission for her name to be left in. This letter serves to act as a refusal notice for this part of the request, as per S17(1) of the FOI Act. Please find attached a redacted PDF of the emails, Question 1, between Question 2, and Dun and Bradstreet.
So let us have a good look at that attachment Lancashire Constabulary sent, showing the email correspondence between Lancashire Constabulary and Dun and Bradstreet.
I hope you're well. I am contacting you following your call earlier in the week regarding Dun's numbers for Lancashire Constabulary and FOI you have received. My sincerest apologies, however, your query was not correctly handled and should have been passed on to our customer service compliance team. Please, could you provide further information regarding your query, and I will ensure that the correct information is provided next week? Should you require anything further, please do not hesitate to contact me. Kind regards, Compliance and Escalation Manager, D&B UK and Ireland.
The whole conversation with your colleague was very confusing. I just wanted a straight answer why your company has data about Lancashire Constabulary and associated addresses, and then why they have been allocated these DUNS. At the end of the conversation, it became apparent that you have most probably web scraped these details from online, and these haven't been set up by anyone here at Lancashire Constabulary. Please correct me if I am wrong. We have had a very worrying FOI request, making assumptions that we have companies that are owned by Lancashire Constabulary. Kind regards.
Apologies again that your query was not handled correctly, and the response that you received was confusing. Dun & Bradstreet provide commercial data, analytics, and insights for businesses. We have various data sources, including registries, such as Companies House and the Registry Trust, online research, and data partners for publicly available information. And we also create records under internal investigations whereby companies may provide us with information directly. A DUNS number is created when we receive information for a new business. If you want further information on what data we collect and why, then please visit our privacy policy at. The headquarters DUNS for Lancashire Constabulary is, the DUNS number is our unique identifier for the business. I can see that the record was created in 2009, but I am unable to locate the original source of the data as our reports are live and will refresh whenever we receive new information or data that we hold reaches a new ages threshold. The demographic details that we currently hold are address, Saunders Lane, Hutton, Preston, Lancashire, PR4 5SB, United Kingdom. Telephone +44 1772 614 444. Website lancashire.police.uk. Employees 1000. SIC code, line of business 84240, public order and safety activities. Age year started, 50 years 1974. We also have 9 branches listed as below, but there are no subsidiaries linked to the company. If any of the information above is incorrect, please let me know and I will ensure that the report is updated. If you would like to view the full report, you can request a statutory credit file. The form that is linked on the web page must be completed by a named sole trade, partner, or registered principal of the company. Please visit the following website where you will find further information on how to request a statutory credit file. If you have any further questions regarding the above or need further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Kind regards. I hope you are well. I am just following up on my previous email to check if you would like any of the data for Lancashire Constabulary updated. If you have any further questions regarding the information provided, please contact me to discuss as soon as possible. Kind regards.
It appears that Dun & Bradstreet did not receive any more responses from Lancashire Constabulary. Dun & Bradstreet have clearly shown all the evidence to prove Lancashire Constabulary is a business. I think the penny has finally dropped. Dun & Bradstreet have confirmed a DUNS number is created when they receive information for a new business. The company details for Lancashire Constabulary are DUNS number 4248733388, last updated in 2009. SIC code, line of business 84240, public order and safety activities. Age, year started, 50 years, 1974. Lancashire Constabulary's response, they said, was from Dun & Bradstreet. What Dun & Bradstreet actually said in their response to Lancashire Constabulary? Can you spot the difference? Lancashire Constabulary intentionally left out this line. A DUNS number is created when we receive information for a new business. Not at any time, in any correspondence, did Dun & Bradstreet say anywhere web scraping to Lancashire Constabulary. This was a huge assumption made by Lancashire Constabulary in the FOIR reply, and not backed by any evidence. Was this intentionally done to mislead the public and hide the fact they are a business? Lancashire Constabulary have misled the public by intentionally leaving out important information in an FOIR email response and making assumptions. According to Dun & Bradstreet, Lancashire Constabulary has been a business for 50 years, since 1974. Lancashire Constabulary have committed and are committed to obfuscation, circumlocution, malfeasance, misfeasance, nonfeasance, patent ambiguity, fraud, and fraud with intent to defraud. Lancashire Constabulary have superior clear knowledge, able to act as one effective unit against the truth. Obfuscation is difficult to understand, uses ambiguous language, the action of making something obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Circumlocution is the use of many words where fewer would do, especially in a deliberate attempt to be vague or evasive. Malfeasance is willful, intentional action, wrongdoing, especially by a public official. Misfeasance is intentional incorrect action or willful inappropriate action or advice, a transgression, especially the wrongful exercise of lawful authority. Nonfeasance is where action is required, but there is neglect or willful failure to perform an act that is required by law. Patent ambiguity is uncertainty of meaning created by the obscure or ambiguous language appearing on the face of a written instrument. This falls against Lancashire Constabulary and the Crown. Fraud is intentional deception to deprive a legal right for unlawful gain. A business has to follow rules and procedures set out by contract law. A contract has to be between two parties. There has to be an offer, acceptance, full transparency, and both be in agreement. If the police are a business, they lose all sovereignty, and the oath they swore to the Crown means nothing. Why is King Charles III allowing this to go on? Is the Crown a business too? But that's another video. Ask yourself these questions. Are Lancashire Constabulary sovereign? Who are they serving, you or the corrupt corporate government? Are they operating for huge profit through unlawful fines? Note: Bill of Rights, 1688, grants of forfeitures, that all grants and promises of fines and forfeitures of particular persons before conviction are illegal and void. Have you given written consent to the police to allow them to enforce unlawful actions against you? Why does your local council pay the police if the police already get paid by the corporation government? Do you have a contract with the police? Remember, they have to follow contract law. Do the police have to police by consent?
The way we police in the UK, the way we police is by consent. We want police.
A centuries-old tradition of policing by consent is the way to go.
It's in all of our interests for the police service to better police and do it by consent.
One of the fundamental principles of policing in the United Kingdom is that we police with the consent of the public.
So that's a yes then. If the police corporation enforce fines on you, take your private property, arrest you, all without your consent and without a contract in place, is that not slavery? Are the police the slave masters for the corrupt corporation government and the Crown? I thought slavery in all forms was abolished. Surely we don't run a slavery system in this country, do we? Rishi Sunak, UK Parliament, 8 March 2023.
Mr. Speaker, but look, our position on this is clear. If you arrive here illegally, you will not be able to claim asylum here. You will not be able to access the modern slavery system, and you will not...
Did Rishi Sunak just say, you will not be able to access the modern slavery system?
You will not be able to access the modern slavery system, the modern slavery system, the modern slavery system.
So that's a yes then. Rishi Sunak just said, modern slavery system. Does that make our current King Charles III, king of the slaves? It gets even more alarming. One of Lancashire Constabulary's companies registered on Dun & Bradstreet is Lancashire Constabulary, Lawson Street, Preston, PR1, 2QT, DUNS number 2122622928. That is the same registered address as Preston Magistrates Court, Lawson Street, Preston, PR12QT, DUNS number 2152904441. Two businesses running for profit. Feel sick yet? Has the penny dropped? We have all been lied to. Here is a question for the viewers watching this video. Now you know the truth, what are you going to do with this evidence? It clearly shows the level of corruption in our country. Don't take my word for it, go and look for yourself. You can go on Dun & Bradstreet's website, www.dnb.co.uk. Click in the company search, select your country, enter police or constabulary in the search box. Knowledge is power.
Star.